Let's make lots of noise. How was Kate's family? Amazing. Boring as fuck. So we have a little bit less people here than we did with Kane, but I think we can make just as much noise as we did for Kane. So can we try that again? It was different, a different beast, but I'm glad everyone's here and hanging out and, happy to be here. It's like old times, it's so proud and wonderful, right? Sure, yeah. So, I mean, of course, we all know we love you from Hatchet. We all know we love you from Halloween, obviously. But I really want to talk to you about Among Friends. Okay. That's what you directed, yes? Yes. Yes? Tell us how that came about and the whole process of that. That's crazy. Has anyone here seen that movie? Also has Kane in it. Oh, yes. He does dance. Yeah, Kane worked for me for $100. He's like, dude, I wouldn't do this for anybody else. It's like you get to do whatever you want. You can make up your mind. You get to be a dirty fucker. So those were his lines. That was it. It was all him. I'm like, say whatever you want when I come out of the car. And it's just typical Kane. Was the dance his too? That was his, yeah. Yeah, they got Kane's dance. It's like, oh, never really dance in the movie. On our podcast, we always talk when there's a dance in a horror movie. We call it Dances of Horror. Oh, that was one of my favorites. Oh, nice. So I always think I'm proud that was Dance of Horror. Yes, yes. But I didn't know that was his choreography. That's all his choreography. Anyway, tell us about Among Friends. Yeah, so it was, I wanted to direct for a while, and my friend Jennifer Blanc was Michael Bean's wife. Came to me and said, I've got this idea, and I rewrote the script with the writer, and we just kind of winged it. I think I had like 2 days of pre-production, and made it with a rubber band and a shoelace, and we pulled it off. It's hard to get 7 cast members in one room. I didn't want it to be boring, but so trying to figure out how I can make it interesting. But I learned a lot. I learned some women are crazy to work with. So I may choose differently next time. But it was a great experience. Yeah. And you had a little cameo done yourself. I did. As the director / Jamie Lloyd. Yes. Right. It's the first one I put the costume on in a million years. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. Like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it for my own movie. Okay, another thing, of course, I must ask you about is one of my favorite shows, and we all know that is That's Life. Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone here knows that one either. Did anyone ever see this show called That's Life that I did on TV? 3 years. It's crazy. So I had this show on CBS with, are you ready? Ellen Burstyn, Paul Sorvino, Kevin Dillon, Debbie Mazar, Heather Beach Kent, and myself. I was Kevin Dillon's wife. And it ran for two seasons, like 40-something episodes. And then it was like a family Sunday night kind of, it didn't like catch on for some reason. Well, it's still has quality because I posted the episodes on YouTube. Oh, yes. And the comments I get on them are amazing. They're like, I'm surprised that hasn't been taken down. But the comments are, I love this show. Where did you find this? And by the way, because it's not available, I've had it right. So here's something from the UK. Oh, wow. So someone had recorded them from like Lifetime. Oh, gee. Or something like that. Right. And I never buy bootlegs unless there's no other option. Right. And for this, there was no other option. I bought VHS tapes that my grandma recorded from her VCR. And that's how that show was. What year was that? That was like 99 or something around there, maybe 2000s. I don't remember what I was doing in my life at the time, but yeah, I was doing a lot of drinking. I think at that time. I don't know. That's a while ago. Yes. Anyway, great show. But the comments I'm getting on YouTube for it over the past couple of years are amazing, and people really did love the show. And thank you for putting this up. This was so great. Ellen Burstyn, like doing a TV show. Gosh, she's awesome. Paul Sorvino. I mean, tell us about working with him. I was such a fan. He's amazing. He actually got stuck in the bathroom in his trailer one day and couldn't get It's just a silly story, but I love Paul, don't get me wrong. And I did a movie of the week with him too. With Victoria Principal, I did a movie of the week when I was a kid called Don't Touch My Daughter, where I was molested, and it was Victoria Principal, taking us way back. Victoria Principal played her daughter, and Paul was the detective. So I met him and again on the TV show. But he was a character. I mean, he directed episodes and Mira would come on set, and he was really great. I guess he got stuck in the bathroom. So I don't know why that's the memory that pops into my head, but he was in his trailer and the door got locked and he couldn't get out of the bathroom. It was just so silly.
I loved it every time he sang.
Oh, I know. He used to sing every day, all day on set. We're like, oh my God, Paul with the long run. Have you guys ever met Paul Sorvino? Yeah, he's really sweet.
I did not have the honor. I really wish that I was going to go to a con and his dad, and then basketball was there. I was like, yeah.
He was supposed to be at one not too long ago before, and I was like, Paul's going to be here. I heard it was sick. And then he passed.
Yeah, but no, I mean, what a performer. Such a big fan.
Yeah,
But the whole show was fantastic.
It's great.
It was so good. Anyway, check it out, guys. Let's get you some more fans on that show.
Yeah, for sure.
It's my not so secret wish that I would one day get.
I'm gonna record for my Patreon, you guys, because I like to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll just do a live while we're chatting.
Cool. Okay, so do we have any audience questions right now?
No one's gonna raise their hands. Come on, so there you go.
I just want to know how different it was because you were in like Halloween 4 and 5, and then you did the Raw Zombie, which I loved you, absolutely loved you for different reasons. But how different was it like being a child actress and then?
It was, so what made it different is that, and it took me a minute to kind of figure out why it felt different. He never got me in the old movies, right? It was a lot of running from him, but never really, the closest I came in was in Halloween 5, probably the coffin stuff, right? But obviously in the new Halloween, they're not new anymore, they're old already by now, but in Rob Zombie's Halloweens, I had to fight him off. So it was a very different physical experience for me. And also being as vulnerable as I was in those scenes and then doing that kind of stuff was something that I had never done before, which is why, because I love Robs so much, I wanted to do that in those movies. And also to be seen as an adult for the first time. But it was a lot harder. I was like, is it hard because I'm older? And just shit's harder when you're older? Because at 10, you're like, this is so fun, and I'm gonna be up all night, and also you're rubbery.
Your body works differently when you're teeth.
And oh yeah. So 10 versus 30, I was like, it gets harder as I get older, that's for sure. But it was we were telling Scout, I'm passing the torch to you. This is your movie now, this is your thing, I thought it would kind of maybe be, I think Rob's movies are finally getting the respect that they deserve now after seeing maybe the new ones. They're going back and revisiting and realizing that he did a really good job with the story because it could have gone in a lot of different ways.
You're absolutely amazing then. I was so happy your character came back, but your Devil's character.
Thank you. So in Halloween 2, in the script there was no scene with Michael Myers and Annie. The way the script was written, if you get a copy of the script, was Lori just comes in. She comes in from the party, and there's blood dripping from the ceiling or from the wood floors, and then her and I go upstairs, and I was supposed to be in the bathtub, covered in the water was supposed to be full and flowing over and covered in blood. But my head was supposed to be out of it, so I was still alive, and then she was supposed to try to take me out of the water, and then Michael comes busting through the door, and then you assume that I die. And I remember saying to Rob, I'm the only character in this script that doesn't get killed by Michael on screen. And you're really gonna get a lot of shit for this. Because if you're gonna kill me, you're not killing Annie, you're killing me off of the franchise. We should have some scene with me and him. So he was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Well, you guys just do whatever you want to do. We're like, what does that mean? So he's like, I'm just gonna pull 3 cameras, and I'm gonna put you guys in this room and let you and Tyler just go head to head.
What was amazing?
Tyler, what do you want to do? He's like, what can I fuck up? Like, what can I break in the room? And Rob was like, break whatever you want. So we were like, I just said to him, like, you just come get me. And Tyler always talks about how he'd have to like start to move before action, because even before action, I would be like running out the door. Because my whole thing was like, I'm not gonna be like waiting around to be grabbed, because that's just stupid. So I'm gonna try, which is why the first one I made it out the front door, which was a total accident. That was just me supposed to go to the kitchen, and I was like passing the door as I was going to the kitchen, and I just went out the front door because it just made sense. I just didn't want to be that character that was like going upstairs when I could go out the front. I didn't want to be a dumb chick, you know. So, and then we, you know, ended up writing that into the movie. So, happy accidents. It's really terrifying. I mean, I told Tyler, like, you better come get me. I'm the sheriff's daughter. Like, this is not going to be easy for you.
Yeah.
And he did. I had like big like handprints. He didn't run for my money, that's for sure.
Yeah. Do we have any other audience questions? Yes, sir.
Speaking of your stream reference, are there any other franchises that you'd like to like delve into?
Oh jeez. All of them. Not all of them actually. God, I mean, there's it just depends, I guess, on like what the story is now. I mean, obviously, like to do a Nightmare on Elm Street would be amazing. But I want to do it like with Heather. You know, like I don't know, like if we're gonna do it, you wanna like keep it old school. I've been trying to get on Child's Play, like on the series for so long, because I just love that show. And Alice is like rooting for me to be Andy's girlfriend. I'm like, okay. It's like Andy never has a girlfriend, man. I had one date and she left me there, so I just like that kind of kitschy, fun, you know, fun stuff. I want to stay in this world, but I mean, I don't know, what franchise would you guys see me in outside of Halloween? Would it be weird for me to be in like another franchise? I mean, I'm in Hatchet, like, that's kind of like our own thing, than like coming into one that's already established. But I guess it just depends on the story.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll just stop talking to you because I didn't
No,
see you.
you're good, you're good.
Get done what you need to get done.
You're good, you're good.
Yeah. So thank you guys all for coming out today and attending this panel with us. If you missed any of the panels, you can catch them on our YouTube channel, and if you want that information, you can get the information from these business cards in front. Also, please take the pens that I have laying out, because I really don't want to take them home. That would be great.
Oh, very nice.
You good to go?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, great. All right. Any other questions? I know we got some. Yeah.
Do you have any particular memories that stand out from the filming of Urban Legend?
Oh, that's a good question. So the question was, do I have any outstanding memories from Urban Legend? Yes, I do, a few. So first of all, the guy playing the dude in bed with me was not an actor. He was like someone they found, like there were these, like there's streets in Vancouver called like, I think it was Vancouver, not Toronto, called like King Street and Queen Street, where there's like a very like big goth neighborhood. And they happened to just find like extras casting found like a real dude to do that scene with me instead of like hiring some actor and like costume dressing him. So I don't know if he was like a horror fan or what the deal was, but when he got to set and had to do that scene with me, where he was behind me and I'm wearing a dog collar, he like wouldn't take his clothes off. He would not take his shirt off. He was freaked out that he literally would not. And then I had to do the scene where I was then in bed with him, and I was like, you guys need to put a couple comforters down on top of him and myself because I don't know what's gonna happen. And so that was weird. And when I was shopping, as I do when I'm on location and I have nothing else to do, I go shop in the neighborhood. I fell in the street and I dislocated my knee. So in the scene where I'm getting attacked on the bed, I actually have a stunt coordinator holding my right leg down off the side of the bed so I wouldn't move it while I had to fight him off because I couldn't go get my knee put back into place because it kept popping out until after I then had me drained because I had fluid on my kneecap. So he was literally holding my leg straight while this guy was like coming after me. So crazy stories.
Anyone else? In the back.
Love the podcast.
Thank you.
This guy really hot.
Love it. Thank you. Are you guys getting good? We talked about this earlier. Are you guys getting good pointers? So someone says to me, I don't know if he's here or not, that I don't see him in the room, that I should have more men on the show to get the male perspective. That some people might think that the podcast is really like a chicks podcast. Do you guys think that we give enough like guy perspective, guy like pointers for you guys? We try to at least. We try to help the ladies out and giving you guys some a little sometimes. I only know what I know. Like, we definitely try to do it, but we've got ladies on all month this month, and then we're gonna have more of our horror killer guests on.
I think the guys should be listening to the podcast with the ladies so that you can hear it out.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole point. Yes.
Right. Yes. Thank you. It's a great show, by the way. I'm so glad that you're still doing it.
Yeah,
and
we love
it's
it.
growing and it's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Just important for so many years we've been having like people not know what to talk about at shows, you know, because I've been doing conventions for so many years, and I wanted to talk about something other than like just Halloween. I wanted for you guys to like know who we are, because it's so much more interesting, I think, to know who we are versus like what Dawn Pleasance is like. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about that before, so you're definitely getting an intimate look, maybe a little more intimate than we were expecting into our personal lives.
Oh yeah, and it's also because you're not Jamie Lynn.
Right.
You know, you're Danielle Harris, and you're not the Danielle Harris that everyone sees at a convention or on an interview.
Right.
So it's great for us to get to watch or listen and get more
And
insight.
then we're all the same.
Right. Get more insight onto your personality, your likes, your dislikes, your past, your personal experiences, and all that. So I think that it's wonderful for that purpose.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Yeah. Check it out, guys. If you haven't talked scary to me, it's good stuff. Okay. And I saw a question right there. Yeah.
Do you have any stories working on the set of Roseanne?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this week, this week's episode, we actually have an actress on that I adore, Heather Matarazzo. I'm sure you all know who she is. And she was on Roseanne as well. So and obviously next to Tom R, which is so funny to me, which I love Tom. Yes. This is kind of a stupid, funny story. So, and I tell it on the episode, if you guys have heard me tell this week, forgive me, but I think it's so funny. So there was a day where Roseanne, I don't think Tom has ever even heard this story, which I should probably tell him. It was Tom and Roseanne's anniversary, and she was taking him on a cruise. So during lunch, she hired this like couple, like husband and wife couple, to come to set, and the whole thing was to teach you how to strip for your man. So it was me, Sarah Bernhardt, Lori Metcalf, Sarah Gilbert, Estelle Parsons, Rosie. It was just crazy. And we were all in the set of Darlene's bedroom. And they were they moved things to close the set off. And there was this guy and his wife, and he was sitting in a chair, and she was straight up doing hands, handstands, and flipping her legs over him. And it was crazy. I was 15. What was even crazier is that someone after this happened, I mean, it was all in good fun. We were laughing, and to see Roseanne try to do a handstand and throw her legs over some dude sitting in a chair, you can't. There's not enough money, you can't pay for that kind of entertainment. And somebody went and told Child Protective Services that she had endangered a minor. And they came to set to investigate. And Rosie came banging on the trailer saying to my mom, go tell them that you gave her permission to be there. And she was like, of course I gave her permission. But it was a whole situation where I don't know, obviously it's one of the two husband or wife, like somebody said something, but they didn't like stop it in the middle. They continued to do it and, you know, collect the cash and then reported it afterwards. But so that's like a crazy story. So yes, but go listen to this episode because there's other Roseanne stories on there too about my dumb drunken Roxbury night where I ended up drinking for the first time and fell down the stairs and was not in 10 episodes because she wanted to teach me a lesson. Yeah, she's no joke. I love her. She does not fuck around though.
Second mom.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Heather too. So Heather was talking about how she was having issues. You heard this episode?
We went to dinner, and last time I saw her, yeah, she told me about the
That's
situation.
crazy. She was
I was in the
mom,
accident.
and Heather or Roseanne was like, I'll adopt you. I'll adopt you. You have your child at home. It's not okay, and I will adopt you. Like she's pretty amazing. The show's not the same without her. I mean, I was on the Converse series. It's so depressing, that show. They fucking killed me. I didn't know they were gonna kill me. I didn't know until I saw the episode.
Wait, what?
They didn't tell me. I thought I was coming back. It was like we were going to Hawaii, you know, in the episode, and then all of a sudden it was like, wait, what? I mean, I didn't know I had cancer in the episode until like 3 days into filming. Oh my gosh. That show's nuts.
Man.
Yeah. So they probably should have told me in the beginning. Come on, I know you got it. More questions? Okay, there we are.
So, with working with Rob Zombie, and you've experienced the director Rob Zombie, have you went to a show and actually seen
I have, yeah.
the rock star Rob Zombie?
He's totally different on stage. He's like a different human being. But he's an artist. Like that's kind of how most people are, right? Like who they are off screen is totally different. It's like I watched like recently the documentary that Pink did, and just to see like what her persona is on stage versus like how she's at home with her kids and her husband and being a mom and all that stuff. So he's kind of the same way. He's like shy and kind of geeky, and I always bust his balls because he wears his wife's jeans. I was like, your jeans are so cute. He's like, they're Sherry's. I mean, they're high school sweethearts. You know, he's super creative. He's a fan though. So he's, as most directors in horror are fanboys, right? Which unlike any other genre, like it's just different. Like the people that direct horror have grown up loving horror movies. You don't have like a comedic director directing horror movies. They just don't know how to do it. So Rob's kind of that guy where he sits behind the monitor and kind of forgets that he's directing because he's so excited to watch what's going on. Like Adam Green's the same way. Where you're like, dude, when's he gonna yell cut? Covered in blood, I'm freaking freezing. And they're so invested in the scene, they get so excited that it's hard to kind of just like break out and go, oh god, I'm directing this. I'm not just watching the monitor. So he's really great. I've seen him on stage. He's totally different, but he's a rock star.
Any others? Okay. Oh, there we are.
This is actually kind of reaching back about the same time as last Boy Scout, but my introduction was with Erie, Indiana, with your one-off. Like, how was that, like, jumping into that series?
Erie, Indiana was so like before its time. Like if that show had come out now, people would like get it. You know, I mean the episode that I did, Joe Dante directed. I adore Joe. And Henri Katz, you know, the lead was my actual boyfriend. Was my first boyfriend in real life. We were each other's first loves. So ironically enough, I met him on the set of The Last Boy Scout. So I had this agent, this kid agent at the time. I was such a naughty child. If you've listened to the podcast, not even much has changed. And I went to her office and I went through her files and I picked pictures of boys that I wanted to meet. And there were 3 of them. And one was Henri Katz. One was Eric Balfour, if you know who he is. He's done a bunch of like sci-fi shows. He was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's done a ton of stuff. And the other was Leo DiCaprio. So I met Leo on the set of Critters 3. And I lied about my age because he's a year older than me. He was not interested in me. And then Eric ended up being a boyfriend of mine. And then Henri came to set on Last Boy Scout with his dad. And we had like lunch in my trailer. they were each other's like first boyfriend, girlfriend. And we're still good friends.
Free Indiana was a special show.
That was so good,
I
right?
loved it. My mom loved it.
And I'm always doing conventions because of me. I was like,
Thank
dude,
you, Danielle.
Dude, you understand when people love Hocus Pocus? Yes, we did that. And you're like, it's kind of like a big deal.
And
And
we love everything
I like didn't get it, and now I see him like he's all over everything. But he had to call me. I didn't have to like pick out pictures. He's like, what do I bring? A banner? What photos? I was like, let me help you.
Right.
I will help you. And now he's like traveling the world, so it's good.
You're in Indiana taught me that time zones.
Oh yeah.
And then Indianapolis did not change the time zones. When I first learned that, that was so funny.
I did an episode of The West Wing where that's in there, where they're like, we went back an hour?
Yeah.
Or forward an hour.
Now they do, but back then they did it, and I'm so confused as to what's going on right now. That's my prime memory of here in Indiana. They taught me about time zones.
So good.
Daylight savings time. Any others? I know you
You guys
guys.
want a burning question you want to ask me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's more hands going up.
That's
That's okay,
okay.
we're gonna get you. We're
Yeah.
gonna get you.
You then.
Not to throw shade on another actress, but was Katherine Heigl as much of a tool?
She was great back then. You know, like, but this is before she was famous, right? So, I mean, I loved her. We had such a good time during that show. That movie, rather, Wish Upon a Star. Her mom maybe wasn't so keen on like her and I being friends after, because she moved to LA, and I was like, maybe like I'll teach you, like I'll show you around, and like we can be friends, and so that didn't happen. I mean, maybe I was a bad influence, or she thought I'd be a bad influence on her, so I know. But she's, Mormon and very strict and like kind of like square at the time, so I think she was trying to like keep it like her together, and she thought maybe I would kind of throw a wrench in the game, which I probably would have, so to be honest.
And you had one.
What are your memories of working on the Woman Who Loves Elvis?
It's so funny. So The Woman Who Loved Elvis was a movie for the week that I did with Roseanne and Tom Arnold. We shot it in Ottumwa, Iowa. Have you seen that? Oh my God. I don't think anyone else here has seen it. Actually, Bill Bixby directed that. Which, I mean, he's like Incredible Hulk, he's amazing. Like one of my favorite human beings on the planet. So we did it in Iowa, where Tom was from, and I had a great time. I mean, I would like go see Tom and Rosie sing, because she can actually sing, believe it or not. So I was gonna like play, and would ride like ATVs on their property, and that's when she asked me to be on her show. And I thought it would be like one episode, and then I didn't know it would be 17 episodes, minus the 10 that I didn't do because I was drinking. It was really fun. Actually, Omri came to visit me there. I was like 16 and flew to come see me on that set. A little teeny tiny town. Lots of churches and lots of bars. That's what I remember. It smelled weird. That's what I remember. Iowa smells a little like, I don't know, it's like the soy or something. I don't know. It's some kind of whatever they grow there. The whole city smells weird. So we had a really good time during that movie. They don't make movie of the weeks like they used to. They do like lifetime bullshit and whatever, but nothing to shit on that since those are fun too. But they don't do those like ABC, NBC.
Review of the weeks of the late 80s and the 90s, and probably until early 2000s, were really something special.
They were really good.
What's something we talk about on the podcast all the time? Because
Yeah.
I know I've left it out as
They
well.
were great.
So we just love them so much. Another show that I love, and this isn't ironic, I genuinely love it ever since I was a child, since my grandmother's show, was Diagnosis Murder.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about your trifling, evil, and delicious character
Random shit.
of Diagnosis Murder?
So has anyone here seen that show, Diagnosis Murder? Dick Van
More
Dyke?
specifically her episode.
So I played a sociopath, shocker, right? He's killing all people. I don't know. Even like on TV, I don't know. I can't break that. And
Your
like-
classmates in that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
So when I first auditioned for the show, I didn't realize that it was kind of a comedy. And so I remember going in and taking it very seriously and probably doing like way too much. So I didn't get the job, but they were like, we have another idea for her, but make sure she watches the show before she comes back. So I watched the show and I was like, oh, it's kind of cheeky, you know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to be like drama.
Right.
And I played it dramatic, so I was like, oh, now I get it. No, I felt really stupid. So I changed it up and I ended up getting the job. So I had a good time. It was a good episode.
It was fun. How was your
And
family?
Dick's so nice.
I was gonna say, how was working with Dick?
So nice. Except you can't be in the trailer when he was getting his hair done.
Yeah.
Or put on. I'm not quite sure. I think put on. I think that's why we're not allowed to be in the trailer. And I was like, oh, it's coming. But you know, even, God, who else had fake hair? I think, I want to say Bruce actually, Willis might have had like hair, like a little, like little patches of like, to fill it in or whatever, before they had like the powders and stuff like that. So I feel like I might have been Bruce, because Bruce or Sly, so I think it was Bruce that had like some
Well,
extra hair.
a lot of people back then had their suitcase of toupees.
Yeah, for sure.
Big John Saxon was one.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else think of anything while I talked about Dick Van Dyke?
Yes.
So I know you have upcoming film called Stream.
Yes.
Can you tell us
Wait, which one?
Stream.
Yes. So, God, so Stream, is there Stream or The Stream? They keep kind of changing up. Is the same guys that did Terrifier 2. Phyllis Rose is the producer, and also one of the stars. She brought me into it. It's like got everybody in it. It's me, Dee Wallace, Tony Todd, Felissa Rose. Oh my God, I can just go down the list. There's literally like I think it's like a Rob Zombie ensemble of like everyone you can imagine. I play a mom to a teenager, which was very exciting for me. And it's about, God, how much can I tell you without giving it away? Shit. I don't know what I'm
Is there a trailer out?
No, there's nothing out. They're still filming stuff. Like they're still editing and like kind of moving and changing stuff. But basically, it's a game where what's happening inside of a resort that we are locked in is streamed on the internet, and you can win prizes and money for the best kills, which are real. So they're streaming actual murders of us that get locked down in this resort, essentially. And there's lots of twists and turns, and you know, and Damien did all the effects from Terrifier, so like they're freaking amazing. They're just amazing. Yeah, I mean, I won't tell you about my scenes, but they're stuff that I've not done before, and pretty epic. He says, Damien said that he said this, and you guys can ask him, that he likes the kills in the stream more than the ones he did in Terrifier and Terrifier 2. So I think they played it right, like by having those come out first. Because we did it 2 years ago. So having those come out first to kind of build behind, like everything's kind of working out. And then that, once that comes out, it's going to be. So that one I'm excited about, and then I did a movie called Maddie Knox. And we talked about this year, that is myself, the director of Halloween 4, wrote it and self-financed it actually, and directed it. And it's myself, Bill Mosley, and Robert England. It's really good. It's very like, it's so Halloween, it's so like stylistically like us from that era, and it's gonna be cool.
You know, speaking of Felissa Rose, another one of my favorite Danielle Harris roles is Camp Dread.
God,
I love it.
you see the most obscure random shit. Weird. I worked for 2 days on that movie.
But they were so good.
They were good.
Your
It was
scenes
good.
were
And it's
good. Has anyone seen Camp Dread? Check it out, yeah. One. I think that one's streaming on Tubi right now. Maybe.
I'm only in 2 scenes, you guys. I know I'm billed like second after Eric Roberts, but I always say like after the movie, I was like, do not put me in like the beginning of a poster. I'm only in a few scenes because people get mad at me.
Yeah.
So I try to like not mislead.
Right, yeah. It's a fun one, so check it out. And Melissa's really fun
Yeah.
in it. And I
It's pretty good. I was crying over Eric Roberts not being so nice to me.
Oh, really?
No. He made me cry. I know. No one's ever made me cry before.
Oh my gosh. Another one. Really scared, ready?
Yes.
Haven Nurse.
Oh, Haven Nurse, another one day that I did. That was good though, right?
Love loved it, and also a big fan of Jennifer's as
Yeah,
well.
yes,
So,
yes, yes.
she's the reason I actually watched it. She posted something on her Facebook or something about it, and I was like, okay, gotta watch it. Watched it. Called my co-host.
Yes, Aaron's produced that.
Yes.
Road Halloween.
Six?
There are six.
Yes. And I called my co-host and I said, we gotta cover this movie, so we did a whole episode on it.
Oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
I get ripped up through the elevator shaft.
She is so good. There's some great kills in that one, and you want to see even hers.
I play a drug addict, right? I think I'm a heroin addict.
Right, the backside of that film. It's a whole moral thing. There's a twist. There's a Chicago connection. Chicago. Thank you.
Woo, we got one.
Yes, got one. Yeah, there's a true
Do you ever go to the
crime.
Days of the Dead in Chicago? Do you ever go to the Days of the Dead show in Chicago?
Why not?
It's in November. Yeah, it's right across from that awesome mall. That's why I go. It's like the outlet
It's an
mall.
outlet mall
Molly Gurney.
in Rosemont.
Yes,
In
Rosemont. Yes.
Oh, got it.
Rosemont.
It's so good. We're gonna do a Talk Scary to Me live there, actually, this year. Because I got sick before the last one. I don't know where I was. I went somewhere and I got sick. End of the year. Oh, I met him in New Jersey. On convention crud. And I didn't end up doing my November.
Yeah.
We call it convention crud, you guys. Do you guys ever get sick after coming to shows? No?
I don't get sick, but I get run down, and like I have no voice after talking for.
Maybe because we're touching a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not sick. I'm just my throat.
You're just
I
sick.
can't talk. So I never know if I actually am sick when I'm done with these because I always
You're
have
just
a sore
exhausted.
throat and tired. But I would say like test this and after that anyway, just in case because I don't want to worry, you know. But I always feel like crap after a convention just from like maybe the adrenaline and then come down. I call it post-con blues. So you gotta have post-con blues every Sunday when everyone goes home. It's like, oh, my friends are gone. Oh, sad. Do we have any other questions? Okay. Going once, going twice before I wrap her up. Well, thank you guys for coming out.
I so want to be sleeping. I'd like to cuddle up into your bosom and go to sleep if I may. It looks so comfy over there. I'm just like, oh.
Before we let you go.
Sure.
So you have obviously been involved in horror for so long, right? And you've been very influential in the industry as it's changed. What excites you now about horror now and how it's evolved and grown and changed?
I mean, I think maybe we're going back to how it used to be. I'm seeing a little bit of a shift in the projects that are coming out. I'm all about practical effects and real stories, which is why I still love Dateline and I still love all that stuff. So I'm hoping that we can get rid of some of the CGI stuff and just kind of, which I think is starting to make that move backwards.
It does not age well.
It doesn't look
At all. Even if it's something, if it's new CGI from a few years ago,
It still looks bad. I just need to keep it real. I mean, I think that the opportunity for women has always been there. I mean, it's shifting a little bit, but I think that's why most of us have wanted to be in horror over the last 20 years because it's an opportunity for us to be the stars in movies and really flex our actress muscles. I think there's good things to come. We're finally making some headway in the awards sort of being taken seriously for the first time. These movies are hard. They're really hard to make. And I don't think they've gotten enough recognition for how hard they are, for what the love is. I think it's just starting to kind of get there. So I'm hoping that in the time that I'm making them, that I'll be able to see that happen for some of the ones that I'm in. That would be nice anyway.
Any more aspirations for directing anymore?
So Joe Dante found a script for me that he optioned as producer for me to direct. So it's just a matter of finding money. With COVID and just everything stock market and all that shit, it's been pretty hard to find money for the movies. As far as Scout and I are working on some stuff together, because we just need to do a movie together. So we're not doing our own things, which we're gonna probably, which I hate to crowdfund, but I think that because we just need a little bit, we can kind of make things happen versus waiting to be hired on something. So she's got a bunch of ideas as well as I do, and then Phyllis and I always talk about ideas. So even just earlier today, I was going over to her with my phone, I have this idea, and she's like, oh, she's thinking the same thing. We need to make it. We want to do a Real Housewives of Horror reality show.
I was gonna say, how How about a reality show?
Yeah,
Or follow you around to convention reality show.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that's all part of that. Like, we all have this crazy, crazy, crazy life. And we're all so different, you know, it's like you were saying, like Rob, like, our home life is so different and our world life is so different than this part of it. But to like go on set, and, you know, have my throat slit open and be raped and gagged and then go home and like make chicken nuggets for my children. And sleep is like, I mean, that's like my life, you know, it's so random.
How do you compartmentalize the fiction from the reality? Like, do you ever have trouble like getting out of that mood?
No, thank God.
Good.
I mean, there's some times where, like, my body will physically have a hard time, like, coming down from the vibration, if that makes any sense. You know, like, I did this movie called Shiver that I really liked, actually, with John Jarrett. And I had the whole movie was, like, really intense for me. And I had a hard time, like, leaving set, coming home, and, like, going to sleep. And to come home and like take a shower, kind of listen to music and sort of decompress. But I wanted to stay in that mode too, because you could do it again the next day. But that was kind of probably one of the only ones that I was like, oh, I don't think I want to do this again. It was me, Casper Van Dien, and John Jarrett. And he's like a serial killer. And I get away, and then he falls in love with me because I escaped.
Yeah.
And then he finds me and takes me to his cabin in the middle of nowhere and plays house with me. It's not fun. And it was hard for him too, because he's got daughters.
Yeah.
So for him, he was like having a really difficult time doing a lot of those scenes with me. But as an actress, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be so good. I want to do this role. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience.
Yeah. And last but not least, let's give a serious note into Danielle Harris. Can you share with us what is your philosophy?
It's funny. I wrote this on my Erie, Indiana poster, and it kind of makes sense. We always talk about our show like one life, man, one life to live. Aside from just being nice to people, which I moved to Texas over the summer, and I realized like people are nice in the world. And coming from LA, I didn't realize that still existed because our LA is so fucking rude, or like not connected, you know. So, but I don't have that really here, like horror community. You know, everyone's like pretty normal. And, I mean, people might say that's not the case. They don't know us, but we're like the normal ones.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know, life is short, guys. Just enjoy it, be nice to each other. It goes by fast.
Awesome.
But we know we're dying. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting older.
Every day.
And I'm like, dude, I know. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm halfway to dead, so I'm trying to enjoy my life. Not take everything so seriously.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And if I could just quote you in See No Evil,
Okay.
you're a Kid Cadaver's girl.
I'm a kid cadaver's kind of guy. I was gonna say, Erie, Indiana, I have a line right over where he says, live fast, die young, leave a living corpse. So that's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, guys, give it up for Danielle.
Nice.